Okay, the next speaker is a maestro when it comes to social media and the use of social media to turn sales teams into digital sellers. Right? How to use social to drive pipeline, how to use social to impact how you connect with people. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to introduce a long-term friend of mine. So I shouldn't really have any notes because I know her quite well. And a colleague of mine, Jen Gutman, the Director of Product and Customer Marketing at Octopost. Jen has been passionate about social as a subject since she joined the company back in 2014 when we were just 5 people strong. And I say we, I wasn't even part of the company then. I didn't join it until 2020. But Jen has been passionately working with B2B organizations to help them adapt and adopt social as a channel from a sales perspective as well as a marketing perspective. Jen's session today is titled Mastering the Human Pitch on Digital, Transforming Sales Through Social Selling. Now, a couple of fun facts about Jen that you won't find on a social media profile or a LinkedIn page. Back in the day when she was 12 years old, right, Jen? Yeah. 12 years old, Jen once won the Miss Most Bubbly Personality competition in a local pageant in her hometown, New Jersey, USA. Woo! Go Jen, right? Yeah? Look at that. We're in the presence of Her Highness, right? It's like the pageant queen. Yeah? The second thing is, Jen's actually the reason that I'm standing on the stage here before you today. Because back in 2015, when I was the Chief Technology Officer for Global Marketing at a company called FIS, Jen was actually an account executive at Octopost, and she sold me Octopost. So she must be a good seller in my book, right? Either that or I'm a crap buyer. I'll let you work out whether she's really bubbly and whether she's really a good seller after her session. But Jen's session today is all really about connecting human beings to human beings, right? And using social as that channel. So without further ado, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to my friend and colleague, Jen Gutman. And by the way, I think she left something in the bathroom earlier in the break because someone handed this in. So Jen, here's your crown. All right, excellent. No, you got to do it with that on, Forever the entertainer.
All right, hold on. Let me just, clickers are usually not exactly my friend. Is it the left or right side? Left, great. All right, so quick show of hands. I know Colin introduced me. After, I think it was Orly who said we should never call a demo great, right? But after you give a great demo, how many of you connect immediately with your prospect after you give a great demo? There's only like a handful of you, and I'm going to tell you why every hand in the room should be up. And I don't know how to use the clicker. There we go. Okay, all right. So we're going to talk about today transforming sales through social selling. And, I've done a lot of sales trainings. I've joined organizations, kickoffs every year to talk to their sales teams about how to do social selling right. And what I will say in 2024, I don't even think it should be called social selling. It honestly should just be called selling because it's the modern way that we all need to adapt to be able to sell into our markets and reach our target audiences. So as Colin shared, my name is Jennifer Gutman. I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Octopost. I have a bunch of CMOs with me today. They're our Chief Mascot Officer, so feel free outside. You can come meet me at the table, take a CMO home. Hopefully they can help you drive more sales. So I think a common theme today that we've been hearing, speaker after speaker, and I will say it again, is that we know that B2B buyers trust people, not brands. We know as sales professionals, it's about people, and like Colin said, and we've heard time and time again, people buy from people that they like. And this is where social media comes in so handy. And I know what a lot of sales leaders are thinking, like, okay, we're not marketers, and we also know, marketing and sales, there's always like this fun relationship that we have. When we're bringing you guys leads, you'll love us. When the leads are kind of dry, it's the Hunger Games. But I'm going to give you a secret weapon that if you know how to master and use social media to your benefit to build pipeline and nurture relationships, you will never experience the Hunger Games in pipeline, and you're going to be consistently building those relationships as you build your pipeline, right? And when it comes to trusting people, that is the first thing we need to do, right? Whether it's on our call, throughout our sales cycle, and we need to do it fast, right? And so what I want to do before I get into the concept of social selling is define what social selling is not. Right? So when I ask this question, usually when I'm doing sales trainings, I'll ask, hey, who knows what social selling is? And I get salespeople raising their hand, like, yeah, I do social selling. I have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I know how to find the champion and the decision maker. That's great. That's not social selling. And then I ask, okay, well, what other tools do you use? And they say, oh, InMail. We love LinkedIn InMail because it's not gated, and we can reach the decision makers, and we can spam everybody we know in LinkedIn InMail. I do social selling, Jen. I don't need your session. Well, you know what? I hate to break it to you, but neither of these things are social selling. These are tools that can help you gain knowledge and information, but this is not social selling. So what exactly is social selling? To keep it simple, because I'm a really simple kind of person, right? Social selling is about building meaningful connections. And to break it down even further, when you say meaningful connections on social media, it's connecting and building a network of people. Because what do we know as sellers? I think it was Maria. She had a slide that she put up here, right? And she said one of the biggest challenges with sales is timing, right? So we know X amount of leads, they're in market, they're actively looking for solutions. But what about all the people who are not yet ready to buy? The time isn't right. You want to be top of mind for those people when the time is right. And when it comes to social selling, the whole idea is building a relationship. And how do we do that? We position ourselves as the thought leaders we are, the experts that we know we are, right? We know our product front, back, and forwards. We know the industry upside down. We could, someone could wake up a salesperson in their sleep, and we'd be able to give our elevator pitch with our eyes closed, right? We are the experts. But how do you take your knowledge and display it across social media so other people see you as the expert? And what you have to keep in mind with social media, and especially LinkedIn, is the minute you connect with a prospect, as soon as you've given a demo, right, you're growing your network. And even if they're not ready to buy today, I know salespeople, marketing, brand, we're in it for the long haul. And salespeople, we have to close deals within a quarter. We want to make President's Club, we want to keep our jobs, let's be real, right? So if you can start building your network and positioning yourself as a thought leader, right, and start building meaningful connections on social media, that's true social selling. And when you can incorporate meaningful relationship building into your well thought out selling machine, your methodologies and the way that you're going to sell as an organization, you can then start to scale it. And going back to the idea, right, of time, I think what's the best way someone explains social selling to me is the more that you push out meaningful content across social media, you have to remember that the network, it doesn't matter if you don't get a like or a comment or a share or nobody comments on your post, but you need to remember that you're helping the people make micro purchasing decisions in their mind so that when they're ready to buy, they know that your name is front and center and they're coming right to you. So why is social selling important for sales? I think for me, the 78% is just something that's like constantly every day I wake up, I'm like 78%, right? Because that's the number of sales professionals who, if you're engaged in social selling, are outselling their peers, right? And at the end of the day, salespeople, we love a good competition. We need to make sure we're doing it because if we're not, our competitors are. So I put together a little demo video, and when I end every single demo, I'll give you a little tip or kind of a tactic that I've used. I never leave a sales call without asking my prospects the score of my demo. And I'll always say, please give me a score 1 through 10. How would you rate my demo? And if they gave me a 7, I ask why. So I know some of the conversations earlier were asking like, right, get those hard answers, get those hard pieces of information. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my demo. And you can feel free to rate it after the demo. So
welcome to Octopost. First stop, Octopost in Salesforce. I like to think of this as one great product inside of another great product. So shout out to our friends over at Salesforce. What you're looking at here in Octopost is Octopost seamlessly integrated into Salesforce. Right within this familiar platform, you can actually access conversion-ready content to share on your social networks. Need to post something relevant to your prospects? It's easy as clicking on a post, clicking Share Now. You can customize the message or not and share it with a single click. Once you share it onto your networks, no need to switch between platforms because you're right inside of Salesforce continuing to go on with your day. We're keeping everything friction-free and right here inside of Salesforce where we know as salespeople we live and breathe, helping you position yourself as a thought leader with minimal effort. Another food for thought, by sharing directly from Salesforce into your social networks, you are helping your prospects make mini purchasing decisions in their minds when you show up in their feed. So go ahead and share at least one post a day. And that way, when the time is right for your prospects to buy, you are top of mind because they've seen you in their feed. Let's go ahead and talk about competition, the leaderboard. We all know our kind. Us salespeople, we thrive on competition. The leaderboard brings that motivation to life by showing exactly how you stack up against your peers. Now, everyone can see here, Colin Day is currently kicking my tush. And if you're anything like me, you're not going to rest until you're at the top. Knocking Colin out of first place is literally a goal of mine every month because, one, who doesn't love a little bit of a friendly competition? And yes, bragging rights at President's Club for the thought leader that you truly are. So, Colin, your days are numbered. Next stop is the analytics. As social sellers, we're using social media to go ahead and post content relevant to our audience across our social networks. But understanding what your social networks are engaging with is crucial. Why? Because it allows you to craft personalized outreach, whether it's on social media, in your emails, or in your conversations with customers. You're able to build trust and really truly understand what's resonating with your audience and allow you to follow up perfectly when you see people interacting. So inside Octopost, you can see how your posts are performing. You can get a better idea of your followers across each network and understand how you as a thought leader are having an impact on your network. And then lastly, my favorite tab is I can actually see who is engaging with my posts, and I'll be able to understand if these specific contacts are people that I want to continue meaningful conversations with, if they're prospects, if they're from key accounts, and I can continue the conversation. All of these meaningful interactions help empower you to approach your prospects with valuable insights. As you heard me say earlier, it's no more about the cold approach, but rather being where your customers are and engaging in conversation where they're already engaging. Lastly, what I want to go ahead and show you is getting the full picture. Inside of Octopost, we have something called Influenced Opportunities Report. Octopost seeks to solve a critical challenge that many of us sales professionals experience daily. This specific report shows the direct impact of your social activity and what it has on revenue and pipeline. Want to know who's engaging with your content and how it affects deals? No problem. With Octopost, you can identify who is engaging with your posts across key accounts and prospecting lists. You can see engagement at the account level, giving you insights into how decision makers may be interacting with your content. You can track the influence on revenue with reports that show you exactly how your social media efforts are contributing to closed deals. And I think this comes in really handy, especially if you're leading a sales team and you want to understand the role social media is playing in your pipeline. With social media emerging as the new gold standard of professionalism, mastering these social networks is no longer optional for sales professionals. It's essential. Navigating social networks effectively to prospect, engage, and win business requires the right tools inside of the right tools, right, Salesforce, that you already use. Octopost is the perfect foundation for any successful social selling strategy, empowering sales teams to connect authentically and drive meaningful business growth. growth.
All right, so to answer the question, just going back early, that's the end of my presentation. I'll be outside if anybody wants to talk, more in depth about what social selling is, how you can spark it. But I want to address the question, what do you do when you get a 7? I've gotten a 5 before. Now, I took it pretty hard, right? I'm in sales, I'm sensitive, and I grow my skin back thicker, but it gives you an opportunity to really understand what is missing from your side in terms of education, or if they found something that isn't right and fit within their timeline, and you kind of just use that as an opportunity to open up this discussion in a nice way to answer and get the answers to those hard questions. So feel free to give it a try in your next demo, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn to let me know how it works. Back to you, Colin Day.
Thanks, Jen. Ladies and gentlemen,